You can't heal what you keep repeating. Recognizing your patterns isn't weakness, it's power. Because once you see the loop, you have the choice to break it. Welcome to the Fierce Tart podcast, where I explore the transformative power of healing and finding creativity so you can step into your unknown journey. Lindsay here, and this month's theme is healing at any age. All right, so today I'm going to give you 10 things that will help you step into awareness. Number 1. Pay attention to repeated negative experiences. Notice situations or relationships that consistently create stress, frustration, or unhappiness. Ask yourself, why do I keep experiencing this type of conflict? Are similar patterns showing up in different relationships or situations? For example, constantly being ignored by friends or partners may indicate a pattern of seeking validation from unavailable people. Number 2, observe emotional triggers. Toxic patterns often trigger strong emotional reactions like anger, resentment, anxiety, or shame. Track your feelings. Keep a journal noting situations that provoke intense reactions. Look for recurring triggers. These are clues to unresolved issues or unhealthy habits. 3, look for repeating relationship dynamics. Examine your personal and professional relationships for recurring roles or behaviors. Do you attract controlling, dismissive, or critical people? Do you find yourself always rescuing or pleasing others at your own expense? Patterns often reveal unconscious beliefs or unresolved trauma. All right, number 4, reflect on decisions and habits. Toxic patterns can show up in self-sabotaging habits or choices. Procrastination, addiction, overspending, overworking, or avoiding intimacy. Notice if you repeatedly make decisions that undermine your well-being. Number 5, examine your inner dialogue. Pay attention to your self-talk. Negative patterns often involve critical, perfectionist, or limiting thoughts. Examples of this are, I'm not good enough, I can't start, I always fail, I don't deserve love. Making these videos is so much fun. And then in between, something's like, you should just quit doing this. You're not good enough. So nobody's going to like it. And I'm like, what the heck? I was just so happy. So what are those thoughts? Journaling these thoughts helps identify recurring mental patterns that perpetuate toxicity. Number 6, ask trusted others for perspective. Because let's face it, sometimes others notice patterns that you don't notice. Ask friends, mentors, or therapists. Do you notice any patterns in how I handle relationships or challenges? And when you do this, be open to hearing objective reflections without defensiveness. Really, 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 if I've, gone into like a really bad relationship, a lot of times there are people that were kind of like, I don't know, like maybe that person's not that great for you. Like maybe they're not as good as you thought. Don't be defensive. Actually listen to what they have to say. Definitely ask more than one person. You can ask a parent, but sometimes parents know you in a very specific way, and a friend knows you in another way. A coworker knows you in another way. I think it's best to just kind of spread it out so that you're getting a broad view. Like I wouldn't just ask your mom and your dad, especially since they raised you and contributed to your strengths and your weaknesses. So a lot of times it is good to ask someone else outside of them. Number 7, track behavioral consequences. Look at the outcomes of your actions. Do your choices repeatedly lead to conflict, stress, or disappointment? Toxic patterns often repeat until consciously addressed. For example, repeatedly choosing partners who are emotionally unavailable can signal an unresolved attachment pattern. Number 8, identify avoidance and denial. Notice what you are avoiding talking about or addressing. Denial can be a sign of a pattern you've normalized. For example, avoiding discussions about finances, boundaries, or emotions. Anything repeatedly may indicate avoidance patterns from childhood. Number 9, use reflection and mindfulness tools. Practices like meditation, journaling, and therapy help you pause and observe your reactions without judgment. Recognize subtle patterns in behavior, emotion, and thought. Mindfulness strengthens self awareness, making toxic patterns easier to spot. These, both meditation and journaling, are big, big, big things for me. Yoga, bringing that more in recently, but meditation, I use a meditation tracker like Insight Timer. I'll use that to track daily using the apps will help keep you motivated. You ideally, don't want to break your streak. You want to show up every day to meditate, but essentially most days, at least 5 days a week, I meditate pretty early in the morning before I do most of my activities for the day. And that helps center me. I have a balcony that's off of my bedroom. A lot of times open the door to the balcony and just smell the fresh air and get that first thing in the morning, get that fresh air to hit my brain, and just kind of how that centers me back to earth. And meditating and also breath practice too. I do want to talk about breath practice too, but meditating, actually doing that every day, setting an intentional prayer, whatever that looks like to you, something that's every day that you're consistently showing up for. Ideally, you can say, oh, here's my perfect schedule, but every time I try to do that, it's an overload and it's hard for me to do the same thing every day. So I feel like I need a varied daily schedule, but certain things from 5 to 7, I want to be doing the same thing every day from 5 to 7. And so I can set that as a kind of permanent schedule, but from 7 to 9, I need time blocks, vary depending on what kind of task I have to do for that day. So I essentially saw that for me to be successful, I need to add in one thing at a time. So I first added in meditation, and then I added in the breath practice, breathing the fresh air first thing in the morning, made an intention to, as much as possible, if I could think about it, just actually stop and fill my lungs all the way up and pause and breathe all the way out and totally empty my lungs. Do that multiple times. I can feel my nervous system calming down. I can feel more relaxed. Just like when they say, take 10 seconds. If you're mad and you're going to explode or you're going to go off on somebody, take 10 seconds and breathe. You most likely won't do it. If you can calm yourself down, you most likely are not going to go to an extreme unless it's actually called for. So first doing the meditation, adding the breath practice, and then adding the yoga in to make sure that I'm also moving my body first thing in the morning, just to stretch, get kind of feeling where you might have slept wrong, releasing certain things that are super tight from the day before so that you don't go into the next day and get injured because you did something weird. So stretching. Also, for me personally, connecting to most high creator, God, however you put it, my high self, constantly checking in. And especially when I was going to make these videos, saying a prayer, putting the intention to only put that which is of the highest good out. And I say that every day and I say it out loud. Saying things out loud makes a difference compared to just thinking it. So I set that intention, say that prayer, connect to source, the highest consciousness, and then being that light and living in that light and putting that out there. And I do that the first 2 hours every day. That has been helping to me grounded and centered. When I say grounded, because I think a lot of times people don't necessarily understand what that means, or they look at it as like something different. That means like you need to go out barefoot and step on the ground, which is definitely a great thing to do. You definitely recommend that. I think grounded is somebody is spiraling and they're needing a reality check. So I might think that something is end of the world, but it's actually not. And then coming back down to reality. So spiraling, feeling out of control, things are happening that are out of my control. How do you handle that? And for me, lately, something might come up. I'm still working on checking emails or like things early on to kind of like set my day wrong. A lot of successful people will say, yeah, don't check your email or like take calls or anything that's going to be negative, because then you're going to go through the rest of the day pissed off. And so sometimes that will happen and it ends up being a great practice. And while I'm meditating, the intrusive thoughts come in and detract me from meditating. And then I'll go, all right, take a breath, stop, recenter myself. Because the whole point of spiraling is that to just be here now. And so if you're here now, usually what you'll see is that There's no spiral. Like, you're not spiraling. It's only the projected future possible spiral that makes you spiral currently. Learning to live in the moment and then take a breath and come back to the actual now, which is, okay, that's not technically happening currently. Okay, what needs to happen today? I can keep going. A lot of times finances or lack of partner can just lead you down some sort of spiral. If you can practice with meditation or being in your breath, yoga, where you have to hold the poses and really work with your mind, where your mind's like, I can't do that. And then, yeah, I think I can stretch further. I can, do this. It's like a mind conquering thing. So are then helping your body added bonus. I think it's for the body, and then the mind's the added bonus. Funny. But anyways, I look at it like, for me to go through it, I have to conquer my mind because I don't want to do it. And then, oh, hey, my body feels great. All right. So using those reflection tools to help center you, help ground you when you think that you're getting ready to have a spiral, a finance, like, oh, I don't have enough money. What do I do? Rather than just, oh, I don't have enough money and whatever, so on and so forth. Like, I've been in this scenario so many times. And I've done the spiral, called my mom and done it all worked up. Why did I do all that? Because no matter what, I have to go through the actions of getting the money. You could cry to someone in hopes that they'll give you the money. I don't prefer to do that. So it's just kind of like, I usually just get myself worked up. And I'm like, why did I get myself worked up? Because I still have to go figure out how to pound pavement and get the money. So staying in the breath has helped me deal with some situations before I do a spiral and pull in other people. Great tools. Number 10, the last one, look for recurring themes from childhood. Many toxic patterns originate in childhood experiences. Patterns around validation, control, intimacy, or self-worth often trace back to early relationships or trauma. So reflect. Does this feeling, habit, or conflict echo something from my past? Has this happened before? Do I recall feeling this with my mom? Did my dad say the same thing that triggered me? I've got some quick self check-ins for you, and also an awesome download for you. Just questions to get you going on your healing journey. So that's a free gift from me to you. The download will be in the description. So anyways, your quick self check-in questions. Do I feel drained, anxious, or resentful in this situation repeatedly? Do I attract similar types of people or conflicts? Do I criticize or punish myself for recurring behaviors? Am I avoiding certain feelings, conversations, or responsibilities? Would a neutral observer notice a repeating pattern here? All right, so grab your journal, write those down. Write down one recurring pattern you notice in your life. Write it in the comments below if you feel like sharing, connecting in the comments. Download my self-audit worksheet on my website for free in the comments. In the next episode, I'll be exploring common childhood experiences that influence adult life. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are making my dreams come true. I just only hope to help inspire everyone to go on this healing journey and just take all the yuck and the muck and the horrific things and to alchemize them and turn them into gold and use them and make $1 million. So that's what I'm here for. Go to my website. Link is below. www.thejourneyofoneartist, thejourneyofoneartist.com. You can book a session with me, an intuitive counseling session. You can book one-on-one coaching. I've got my art store, which has my prints and original arts. And you can also get this template, and the podcasts are on there. So I love y'all. Thank you again. Make it a great week. Take care. See you next time.